Question 13, Don says, we have been speaking almost precisely of the portion of the Esmerelda Sweetwater book which we wrote having to do with Trostrick's misplacement of the space girl's mind-body-spirit complex. What is the significance of that work that we did with respect to our lives? It has been confusing to me for some time how that meshes in. Can you tell me that? Ra says, we scan each and find we may speak. Don says, would you please do so now? Ra explains, we confirm the following, which is already, shall we say, supposed or hypothesized. When the commitment was made between two of this group to work for the betterment of the planetary sphere, this commitment activated a possibility-probability vortex of some strength. The experience of generating this volume was unusual in that it was visualized as if watching the moving picture, or movie picture. Ra continues and says, time had become available in its present moment form. The scenario of the volume went smoothly until the ending of the volume. You could not end the volume, and the ending was not visualized, as was the entire body of the material, but instead was written or authored. So before finishing this last part, let's see. So this book, which I haven't read, I must admit, I have not read this book, but it was written by Don and Carla, and apparently the story was very similar to what was happening now with several things. I think they have mentioned it in other sessions already, where they talk about how there are parallels in the story, there are things that seem similar to what they wrote and they're living. And so there was a lot of visualized stuff there. And so Ra simply says, we confirm that what you already know we can talk about, so let's talk about it. And is that Don and Carla is, to me, the two people who are in the group who made this commitment, which was of the betterment of the planetary sphere, or the good for the planet, what they wanted to heal within the planet. And this commitment activated a possibility-probability vortex of some strength. Now, this possibility-probability vortex is to me, in my interpretation, the possibility that they would see basically things, let's say the future somehow. That's what a possibility-probability vortex is. I've explained this in the past, so a quick refresher would be like, there is a possibility-probability vortex that I will record the law of one on Monday. Julie knows this, Adrian knows this, so they can see into the future, basically. It doesn't mean that I will do it, but there is a strong possibility-probability vortex that I will do so. So, people can see into the future. That's a very mundane and it's a very shallow example, but it illustrates what a possibility-probability vortex is. There are other deeper ones that we can see, and some people are sensitive to that, and I guess that's due to their configuration. But yeah, they were able to see this, even though they didn't see it as I'm just going to sit here and channel the future. They were just seeing it as a story, and they said, well, that's a nice story, let me write it. And so they wrote it, and now they found a lot of things in there. So the experience of generating this volume, the book, was unusual in that it was visualized as if watching the moving picture. It's actually the moving picture. I don't know why I said movie picture. Same thing anyways, same root of language. So time had become available in its present moment form, that meaning that, I don't know why I keep moving to the slide. Time had become available in its present moment form. The scenario of the volume went smoothly until the ending of the volume. You see, to me, when they say time had become available in its present moment form, is that the viewing of this vortex was available at that time, and so they were able to see what they wanted to see, and also what they wanted to write. So That's what to me means that time had become available in its present moment form. You could not end the volume. Apparently they couldn't end the volume in this visualization, but they finish it. Authored. This is what Ra means by saying that it was written or authored. So it wasn't visualized in that way. But the last part that they mention here, they say, this is due to the action of free will in all of the creation. However, the volume, the book, contains a view of significant events, both symbolically and specifically, which you saw under the influence of the magnetic attraction, which was released when the commitment was made in full memory of the dedication of this, what you may call mission restored. So this magnetic attraction is a sort of, to me is, again, it's like a window that opens when two people realize what they're here to do, and it's open that way. It could be with one individual too, so you can see this as part of the development of the mind-body-spirit complex, the entity itself. And so what it was due to the action of free will was I think the authoring of the book at the end, because it was like, okay, we have all of this, let's just finish it. In a way, I'm sorry to make this reference, but the whole drama and controversy with Game of Thrones, the show and the books, sort of like that, David and Dan, they basically got the books, they visualized everything in the show with the books, and at the end there were no more books, no more visualization, so they had to write or author the ending. So that's why it's so controversial. So the same thing happened here. So yeah, this is it's just that one event.